So topic is LVM. So LVM is belongs to Linux, Logical Volume Manager. Before we are going to do practicals regarding LVM, we should know how to manage the disk. Okay, how to manage the disk. Okay, so we should know this how to disk management kind of stuff. Here is a command we use fdisk. Okay, we use a command fdisk. Okay, so what is a f disk to manage the hard disk, and unmod disk is command is that is called g disk, f disk and g disk. If your disk is type as mbr type of disk, so mostly we use a f disk only. Okay, so separately gpt type of disk, like you select a uf5, then we have to use g disk for that one. Like you add a new disk, then you can use a g disk, but generally we are using a f disk only. Okay, generally, so if you take a disk, okay, the disk names in a Linux is dev slash sda type. So forget about what is s. S is like a name is Kazi, simple. Okay, sda, a means first disk, b means second disk, c means third disk, like that. Okay, so when you take a partition, so first we have to make a partition of the disk. So when you take a partition, then number will come up SDA1. So first partition name, SDA2, SDA3, SDA4, like that. Okay. So whenever you make a partition, normally like you created a C drive, D drive. For example, you created a D drive. Okay. So in a Windows, we have a drive letters, D drive. Then you put a data inside that, right, directly. But in Linux, okay, in a Linux or Unix, so we're talking about Linux only. Unix is a little bit different. Okay, if you are in a Linux, once you make a partition, you can't do anything. You have to mount to a directory, then only we can able to do it. So we have to, so the partition, whatever the partition name it is, you have to mount to a directory. Okay, of course, in Windows also mounting option is there. In Windows also mounting option is there. Okay, in Windows also mounting option is there. Okay, and but in Linux only mounting option is there. We don't have a drive letters here. Temporarily we can mount it, but we have a drive letters. So I will try to show you first how to deal with the Linux and mounting, and also will show you LVM also. Okay, both practicals I will show you. First of all, what I want to do is first partitioning of the disk, the stepwise I will show you. Okay, and I will show you LVM. For both the things, I'm going to add a two or three extra disk to our Linux, because I'm not at started Linux. So I'm going to add a disk first, then we'll see that one. Okay, then I will explain the LVM, then we'll do both the things. Okay, so we have to mount it, of course, to put a data in the disk. What we are doing when you are creating a partition D drive in Windows, so we are mentioning file system also, right? We are mentioning file system like a NTFS or FAT, you are mentioned. In Linux also, when you make a partition, so we have to mention file system like ext3 or ext4 or xfs, like that. Okay, ext3, ext4 or xfs, like that. You have to tell the things. What is the difference between ext3 and ext4? The properties are little bit extra, like limitation of disk limitation increases in ext4. That's it. Okay, you can search in a Google like differences between ext2, ext3, ext4, xfs kind of stuff. Okay, LVM is like a ride only, but there is a differences between LVM and ride. So I'm showing that one. Okay. So where is this? Yeah. So I don't want this one. So here is a Linux one. Okay, I open a Linux one. It is a 1 GB drive only. Okay, so I close the magnifier, I think so. Okay, so this is my Linux, which is I created earlier. Same Linux only. So 40 GB disk is there. Linux one. Edit virtual machine settings. Then I'm going to add a virtual hard disk, right? So here, click on add hard disk. So you can add anything like a extra network adapters, CD-ROMs, like that we can add it. So I'm adding a hard disk. SCSI. So see the SCSI thing. Next, new virtual hard disk. It is showing 20 GB. I put a 100 GB single file. So something name is there. Just okay. Now I added a extra 100 GB disk. So I'm adding at least 3 disk. I want to add it. SCSI and 100 GB disk. Next, finish. If you are in an interaction mode, then I can do very faster. Same thing only. It is not required to put always same size. You can put any different size, but same size is always easy. Okay, you can put like 100, 200, 300, like also no problem. Okay, can you see 3 disk I added extra, but first practical we do on a this disk only. Later I will do on a this disk. Okay, LVM I will implement on a these 3 disks. First partitioning I will show you on a 40 GB disk only. Okay, and start a virtual machine. It went to not responding, no problem. It will come. Okay, so root admin @123. Do you remember or you forget the Linux? Uh, IPADDR. Okay, it is showing 2.169 is my IP address. Okay, so I think in Putty, I open Putty. Here, if you go, uh, already I given these things, right? So it is there. Okay, okay. Maybe you forget the fingerprint. It's open. My Putty. Putty is open. You don't require this thing, magnifier. Appearance 16 point. I want to increase it, so it will increase the visibility. So I think it is good. Root admin @123. If you got a doubt, you can search like a Unix man, TechSmith. They'll give you all the LVM and partitioning kind of stuff. First, we do partitioning. So we'll see that disk partitioning in Linux. Okay. The command is fdisk. Okay. Fdisk space -l. So it will show you entire table. See, it will show you entire table fdisk -l. This is a 40 GB disk SDA 40 GB disk. You can see its point is given, right? Dot star means it's a boot disk. This is one partition, second partition, third partition, fourth partition, and fifth partition. Fifth is belongs to swap partition. Fourth is extended partition. We are using a different partition things, right? Next, you can see 100 GBs, 100 GB, 100 GB, no partition. So this is the partition table. This is only for query fdisk space -l. Next, so I came to bottom of the screen. So I put a clear. So then you can see from the starting here carefully fdisk fdisk -l slash etc slash sorry disk name is dev slash sda. Disk space is sda. Just only one disk only. I don't want all the disk. I want a first disk only. First disk name is sda. So this is the our 40 GB actual disk which is having a partitions. Okay. Now remove this -l. Remove this -l. Just remove this -l. See the step by steps. Now see I am inside a F disk. You can see that in the bottom M is also there. So this is my disk and welcome to disk utility, and then it is something it is showing M for help. If you don't know options, then go to click on M. Okay, enter. So these are the options to do it. Here we want to create a new partition N to create a new partition. Okay, you want to list known partition type L. You want to delete the partition D. You want to delete the partition D. Okay, you want to verify the partition table V. You want to print the partition table P. You want to quit without changes Q. You want to save the changes W. These are the important things. What I said in important things here: N for creating a new one, P for print the partition table, V for verify the partition table, D for delete the partition table, L for know the partition list, okay, M for help, Q for quit, W for save. Okay, this one. So remember this fdisk slash dev slash sda. Before that one fdisk -l, then fdisk slash dev slash sda -l. Then you have to press M, then you will get a help. Then these are the things important. So just you have to notify. First I want to print the partition table P. This is the partition table 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up to 5 it is there. V. So when you press the V, if it is shows some number, very big number like this, unallocated partition is there. So have a this much space is there. You have to convert this into 512 bytes wise. Then you will know how much space is available. Okay, unallocated space means free space is there to take a partition. Now I press the N button and press N. Now it is asking all primary partitions are in use, adding a logical partition. Now I am creating a logical partition. This is a first sector. First sector is a next number of this one. This is a sector wise. This is a sectors. This first sector, end sector, one partition. This is, see, follow the next line. Okay, so don't do anything, just enter. Now last sector, we don't know how to calculate with the sector wise. We 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 can do it, but easiest thing is size wise is easy. So what I'm going to do is I put a plus 2 GB. So I want to create a 2 GB partition. Maybe we can create 1 GB also, no problem. I want to create a 2 GB. I think it is there. Space is there. 2 GB more than 10 GB is there. Free space. So no problem. We'll create a 2 GB. I think 7 GB is free space is there. So I'm creating 2 GB. Or you can take 500 MB also. No problem. Okay, it is not objected anything. So partition 6 of a type Linux size is 2 GB is set. So partition 6. Now what I'm doing, P for print. So I'm printing P for print. So can you see the SDA 6? Remember SDA 6. SDA 6. Okay, this is a sector starting number and ending number. How many blocks? And can you see this is a 83 is ID Linux type of partition. If you want to create different thing like a Linux, LVM or swap like that, so we have to change that one. Okay, so how to change to LVM type of disk and all, press L. So here you have to note down few things. One is 82, 83, 8E, 8E. So where is the 8E? Here it is. 82, 83. So first 82, 82, 83, 8E. These three are important. This is a what type of partition it is. Linux type of partition, swap type of partition, or LVM type of partition, or FAT12 type of partition. Okay, FAT16 type of partition. Okay, you want to make it an extended partition, FAT6. See, NTFS, EXFAT. So, what type of partition you want to make it? Okay, EFS, EFI, GPT. The new list is also there, right? So I am putting AE and so how to change the partition type, right? So put a T for changing partition type on which 6, and what is the code that is Linux type of partition. I want to create first Linux per type of partition, not LVM type of partition. So I have to use 83 E683. So my partition number is 6, which while I'm doing that one. So Linux to Linux, then P showing V. Still some more space is left over. No problem. Now W. Press the W. Verification is done. Press the W. Okay. Now partition is created, but there is a problem. This partition is not updated in kernel. Partition is not updated in kernel. If it is not updated in a kernel, problem is the partition is not active. You have to restart the PC to update in a kernel. So you have to use reboot. If you reboot the PC, again it will stop, again we have to connect it. But you can update directly using a command called partprobe or kpartx. Partprobe or kpartx to update into the kernel. It's showing warning, right? So you can see the warning. So I put a partprobe. Okay, so just partprobe is enough. Or you want dev slash SDA or SDA6. So you can type it. So just partprobe is enough. Or you can use partprobe with what hard disk you want to update, like that, or maybe partition you want to update. You can use any three commands or all three commands, nothing will work. Now it is updated. Partition is updated in a kernel. The kernel knows there is a partition called SDA6. Now, how to put a data inside? I will show you a command, df space -h. It shows the mounting information. So what is the directory, what is the partition and what type of partition it is and where it is mounted. You can see SDA1 mounted to boot, SDA3 mounted to home, SDA2 mounted to just a slash, okay, like that. So you want to verify the mounting information, you can see from here, or you can use the command called mount also. Okay. Now here, first, the partition should not have any file system. We have to create a file system inside and then we have to mount it. Okay, so which file system you should use it? Like I'm using ext4, ext3 or ext4 is a option. So command is mkfs. Mkfs means make file system, mkss. And there is a lot of different type of mks commands are there, but I use this one, mkfs.ext4. It's quite easy. And dev sda6. If you forget this step, if you forget this step won't work. So be careful that one. Okay, I'm not doing any extra thing. I didn't given any label for that one. We can give the label also. Label is equal to something, but I'm not doing anything. Just I'm giving mkfs.ext4 and drive name. Okay, we'll see if it is not working. Then we will see another one. It's working, completed. Now I'm creating a directory mkdir. Okay, mkdir slash data. Any directory you can create it. I put a disk 6 just for fun. Just I put a disk 6. It's a directory. It's a only directory. So I created a slash disk 6. That's a directory. Just for understanding and easy, I created a directory. Now I am mounting mount slash disk 6 slash dev sda6. We'll see whether it is what happened. Okay. So we have to give in a reverse order. No problem. Dev slash sda6 source and destination, right? This time now it is mounted. Df space hyphen h. Now can you see it is mounted? This is the entry mounted. Mounting information. It's a 2 GB disk. 0.6 MB is used. 1.8 GB is free. So why it is used? Because every disk has a lost and found folder. So automatically, so some spaces will use it. So you want to access the disk. So ls space slash disk 6. So that's it. That is your disk. Okay, that's a folder which is mounted to sda6. That is a folder. You want to create a files inside? Yeah, you can create a file like using touch slash disk 6 slash so put a, I will put a fd dot file. So 5 files I am creating. Okay. Now what is umount? You want to unmount the disk, the command is umount. Umount slash dev slash sda6. Okay, umount mount. Sorry, umount only. Unmount is un, but it's umount. So I mounted it. Du space, sorry, not du. Df space hyphen h. H means human readable. Means you will get as data in MBs and GBs. Now where is the entry? Here is the entry, but here it's gone. Means I unmounted successful. ls space slash disk space 6 is there. That folder is there, but data is not there. You want to see like this. Where is this? Yeah, disk 6 folder is there, but data is gone. Where is the data stores? Data is stored in the partition only. SDA6 only data is stored, not on disk 6. In the disk there is no data. It is actually stored in SDA6 only. When you mount it, you can access the data. If you unmount it, you can't access the data. Okay. Again, I want to mount mo to nt mount slash dev slash sda6. You can mount to any directory, any empty directory. You can mount to any empty directory, no problem. Okay. But I'm mounting to same directory. Now data is there. See, that's the difference. And I think you understand the difference. How to mount it thing. Okay. So this is it. So again, I'm on mount. You can unmount with a unmount umount space slash disk 6. Also you can give, no problem. Okay. So now again I mounted. Now it is data is gone. Guys, here it is. This mounting is a temporary mount. It means when you are running a PC, you are mounting yourself. This is a temporary mount. When you are running the PC, you are mounting yourself. Okay. But when I restart the PC, it unmount automatically. When I mount it, so like if I am using this one, I mounted it. I mounted. But if I restart the PC, automatically it unmounted. Okay. But if I want a permanent mount, if I want a permanent mount, you have to specify this information in a file. The file name is fs tab. File name is fs tab. So vi space slash etc slash fs tab. Vi space slash etc slash fs tab. So this is a file where we can able to mention it. Vi, right? So first one is I for insert. We have to go to last, right? So okay. So here I'm going to add the details. So slash dev slash SDA6. I will show you how to add with the UID SDA6. This is the actual drive, right? And where you want to mount it. Slash disk 6. Which file system I am using? ext4 file system I am using, and I put a defaults. Okay, this is depends upon other things. 0 space 0. It means check at the time of boot only. Okay, ignore the errors. So 0 represent like a enable disable time, checking not checking, boot time not booting. You have to verify that one. So I'm saving escape WQ. Now I saved it. Now again check it, a df space hyphen h. It is not mounted, right? So I will mount it directly. Slash disk 6. It's mounted. I didn't give a complete thing also. Even if I unmounted it now, if I even if I unmounted, but if I reboot, it mount automatically. Okay, that one. But if you see the fs tab, if you see the fs tab, UUID is showing. Actually, every disk has a unique identification is there. Okay, this is just a name. This is just a name in a logical number. But sometimes when your system reboots at that time, you don't understand logical number. It will understand only a unique number of that one. So because logical number can be changed, right? So sometimes it is become 1, sometimes it will become 2. So system may confuse first disk, second disk. This confusion is there. So to avoid that confusion, avoid the confusion, we have to enter the UUID. So how to add that one? Simple command blk. Blk means block. Blk means block. See here in the bottom, blk means block id slash dev sda 6. I want a block id for 6 only, not everything. It will appear. See, this is the block id and this is the system file type. So I'm taking this block id, copy. Now fs tab, go here, remove this one. Where am I? Go to home, insert, paste. No, no. Right click, yeah, right click is working. Remove the quotations, set it properly in a this side. Okay, so that is properly set. Okay, so here again gap is created, right? So I removing the gaps. So on space is enough and automatically default 00. Escape colon W key. So I given. So again I'm going to, it is already there. So what I'm going to do is first unmount umount slash disk 6. It is unmounted and again mount it. So without a confusion, system will work. So this is it about your partitioning and mounting. Okay, of course. I will show you one more partition. Okay, so sorry, sorry, the steps from here. The middle step you already missed. So the final steps from here, from here to here. Okay, so ignore the numbers and so you have to do by watching video only, because if you follow this one you have to write the steps first and then if you follow this one, this is okay, this part commands are okay, no problem. But the few things like what I done in a VA editor, you don't know, this command now won't work, right? So okay, so like these are the commands, but what I done inside, so that we have to follow the video. Just for clarity, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to create a one swap memory and I will show you that one. Okay, the swap thing is like a df space hyphen h. Don't forget this command, df space hyphen h. The swap is mounted somewhere, so it's not showing here. Okay, it will show somewhere like swap space hyphen s. Sorry, why swap on? Sorry, swap on space hyphen s. So this is sdf5 is a swap partition. Swap on space hyphen s is a swap memory partition, and this is the size like a 2 GB, like that. Okay, it can if you want off, swap off. Okay, so there is some more options are there. So this is a swap memory. I'll put it clear. So this is a swap memory. Now I want to add one more GB to swap memory. So how to do it? Same thing, fdisk slash dev slash sda. Make sure that is your disk, right? So M for help, I know already. So I'm going to P, first P, verifying the partition table because already I know options. So there is a 6 partitions are there. V, V means verify anything free space is there or not. If it is showing some number here, big number, it means free space is there. You have to calculate how much free space actually by the number into 512. The number into 512 bytes size is free. Okay. Now I'm going to create a new partition N. First sector, enter, just enter. Last sector we have to specify plus 1 GB only I want to do it. So plus 1G, plus 1G. Okay. Next. Now this is a partition 7. This is a partition 7. So I want to give this partition 7 to swap, but I want to verify first. P. So this is a partition 7. It's a Linux partition. Number is 83. But now I want to make that one as a swap, like this one swap. Number is 82. So go to T, press T, and which partition number? Seventh partition number. L for list of all codes. Actually, I know the code because I already written that one. 82 for swap. So you can press L if you don't know the code. Otherwise, directly type the code, hex code. 82. 82 hex code for a Linux swap. Directly I am giving. Now it is Linux to Linux swap changed. Verify. P. Now the Linux to Linux swap is changed. V. Now it is reduced. So see the number is reduced. Still some more free space is there. Now completed. Press W. Okay. Press W. So to save the partition. Now partition completed. Okay. The table is saved. But problem is it's not updated in a kernel. So use the part probe slash dev slash sda is enough. Otherwise only part probe, or you can use with a number also if you want. So one is enough actually. And now we have to create a file system. Earlier is normal partition, so you have to put a ext4, but now the partition is not ext4, it is a swap, it is separate file system. Okay. The command is make file system swap type, right? So and we have to search how to swap file system in I forget that one, the command. The file system part only, so no. Mk swap, the command is mk swap only. Okay, the command is mk swap, just dev slash sda7. Okay, there is no label, but it is done. Okay, now swap on, you can use hyphen a. Hyphen a means, so what are the partitions in a swap mode, so they will add automatically. Otherwise you can specify it also. Otherwise you can specify it also. You can use the command free also. By you said reboot, no, okay, fine systems. A simple swap on command is enough. Swap space hyphen a means you add all swap partitions, that's it. Otherwise you can specify a specific as the a7 only. I specified basically, and the command is to verify is swap on -yes. Now both are there. Both are there. See, swap partition and this one. This is the 2 GB. This is 3 GB. You can check the total memory also. You can check the total memory. Cat space slash proc slash swap. This is also same display. Okay, there is a command called free is there, no? This is a total memory. So this is a Linux RAM memory. This is LAN memory. Sorry, RAM memory. This is swap memory. So total memory is showing 3 GB. 2 GB plus 1 GB become 3 GB. So you can use the free command, no problem. Actually, meminfo, swap info is there. In a proc, there is a command CPU info. CPU info is there. That is show you only CPU. What is your CPU? CPU info. Okay, so this is about your CPU, what CPU you are using, and other details. And this is the flags. Okay, like that. Next one is meminfo. Meminfo. And here in meminfo also very big list. Swap cached mem total is 1 GB. Mem total is 1 GB. Swap total is 3 GB. So you can see swap total is 3 GB. Like you can see, put this one grep mem total swap total. This is 3 GB. Okay, so this is how we can add a extra swap memory if it is required. Like you install some application, now swap memory is not enough, then you want to add some more swap memory, we can add it. Swap is nothing but a virtual RAM. Swap is nothing but a virtual RAM. So these are the commands I use so far from here. Of course, we can add the swap memory, extra swap memory in FS tab also. These commands I used it, but you need a video to understand what I used it. To verify the swap, to go to the disk. So for updating this one, creating a swap file system, add the partition to file system. But internally what I done, so it is only there in a video only. Okay, so the steps you have to follow. Verification is important. So this is it, how to make a partitions.